Okay, so get this. We're talking about a bomber. So iconic. It's practically got its own fan club.
Wow.
You heard right. Today's deep dive is all about the B-52. We're going way past those Top Gun vibes you might have.
Right.
You sent over some awesome material tech specs, historical milestones, even some quick facts that are more like mind-blowing trivia.
It's amazing.
So let's figure out just how this Cold War beast has not only survived, but thrived for over half a century.
What's fascinating here is that the B-52 was designed back in the 1950s, and it's projected to be flying missions well into the 2040s. That's almost a century of service.
Wow.
And it's not just about sticking around, it's about how the B-52 has adapted to remain a key player in the U.S. Air Force's arsenal.
All right, so before we get into all that, let's break down the basics. What exactly ISAE a B-52? I mean, it's not just your average plane, right?
Yeah. You got that right. At its core, the B-52 is a heavy bomber, designed to deliver both nuclear and conventional weapons. It's a cornerstone of the U.S. national security strategy, providing that long-range, high-payload capability that can pretty much project power anywhere in the world.
And speaking of payload, one of the quick facts you sent over really blew my mind. The B-52's wingspan is a whopping 185 feet. That's longer than a football field.
That's incredible.
How on earth do they get this behemoth off the ground?
That's where Boeing's ingenuity comes in. To accommodate that massive wingspan, they had to get creative with the landing gear. They designed it to rotate, allowing the B-52 to align with the runway for takeoff and landing, even though its wings are technically at an angle.
So it's not just a powerful bomber. It's practically an engineering marvel.
Okay, let's dig into these tech specs because the numbers are seriously impressive. A top speed of 650 miles per hour, a range of 8,800 miles, and a payload capacity of 70,000 pounds. I mean, those are some serious stats. Those numbers translate to some serious real-world capabilities. That speed means the B-52 can reach targets quickly, which is crucial in a time-sensitive mission.
Right.
And with a range of 8,800 miles. We're talking about the ability to reach almost any target on the globe without needing to refuel frequently. Imagine the strategic advantage that gives.
Yeah.
And then there's that massive payload capacity, 70,000 pounds, meaning it can carry a wide range of weapons, from precision-guided bombs to cruise missiles.
So it's like the ultimate multi-tool of bombers.
Yeah.
Now, going through these milestones, it's clear the B-52 has gone through a ton of upgrades. We're talking digital enhancements, souped-up weapons, bay launchers, and a whole lot more capacity for those smart weapons.
Right, and that's the key to the B-52's longevity, its continuous evolution. It's gone from primarily a nuclear deterrent to a much more versatile platform capable of supporting a variety of missions.
I see.
These upgrades enable it to operate effectively in modern warfare, even in those highly contested airspaces.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing how they've kept this aircraft relevant for so long. So, if I'm remembering this right, it was originally designed as a high-altitude nuclear bomber, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The initial focus was on that high-altitude nuclear deterrent role, but as you pointed out, its operational capabilities have expanded dramatically. The B-52 can now fly at low altitudes, utilize those precision-guided munitions, and even conduct electronic warfare. We're talking about a serious transformation.
This makes me wonder, what are the strategic implications of this adaptability? I mean, how does this flexibility play into the bigger picture?
The B-52's ability to shift gears like that gives the U.S. Air Force a huge advantage in terms of options. They can deploy it for a wide range of missions, from deterring potential adversaries to providing close air support to ground troops. It's that adaptability that makes it a valuable asset in various scenarios, and that's likely a big reason why it's stuck around for so long.
It's almost like having a Swiss Army knife of bombers at their disposal. Speaking of adaptations, you sent over some fascinating details in those quick facts. And there's one I have to ask about the evolution of the gunner position. It started in the tail, then moved forward with the crew, and eventually, poof, gone.
That's a great example of how the B-52's design reflects changes in air combat tactics and technology. Early B-52s needed that tail gunner to defend against enemy fighters. But as technology advanced and air combat shifted towards those long-range engagements, the need for a dedicated gunner decreased. Eventually, technology made the role obsolete, which is pretty fascinating when you think about it.
It's wild to think that the position on the crew could just vanish like that. And here's the kicker. This thing is projected to keep flying until at least 2040, maybe even longer. I mean, are you kidding me? That's just incredible.
It really is a testament to the B-52's robust design. Not only that, there's been a consistent effort to upgrade and modernize it. And let's not forget the strategic value it brings to the table. It's hard to replace that kind of legacy and capability.
So, we've gone over the B-52's history. We've seen its impressive capabilities, and we've touched on its incredible evolution. But you know what? I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
You're absolutely right. There's so much more to uncover about this iconic aircraft.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. Stay tuned. Because in part 2 of this deep dive, we're going even deeper into the B-52's fascinating story, we'll explore its future, the potential for even more upgrades, and why this Cold War behemoth might just be getting started.
It really is remarkable how the B-52 has not only survived, but thrived in the ever-changing world of warfare. It's a testament to its adaptability and the vision of those who designed and continue to upgrade it.
It's like the Energizer Bunny of bombers. Seriously.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the future.
Okay.
Technology is advancing at warp speed these days.
Right.
Do you think the 52 will keep up with all the upgrades? Or will it eventually be replaced by a shiny new aircraft?
That's the big question, isn't it? The Air Force is developing a new long-range bomber, the B-21 Raider. But even with the B-21 on the horizon, the B-52 likely has a role to play for many years to come. It's not just about the plane itself, it's about the strategic value it offers.
So what you're saying is, the B-52 brings a unique set of skills to the table that's hard to replicate.
Exactly. We're talking long range, high payload, and incredible versatility. It can operate from bases all over the world, carry a wide range of weapons, and it's got decades of combat experience under its belt.
Wow.
That kind of experience is invaluable and can't be replaced overnight.
And let's not forget the cost factor.
Right.
Upgrading existing aircraft is usually much more cost-effective than designing and building a whole new fleet from scratch.
You're hitting on a crucial point. Maintaining and upgrading the B-52 fleet is significantly cheaper than developing an entirely new bomber program.
You know, it's almost like that classic car you just can't bear to part with. It's seen some things, got character, but it still runs like a dream.
I like that analogy. There's definitely a sentimental value attached to the B-52. It's been a symbol of American air power for so long and has played a crucial role in many historical events.
It's earned its place in the history books, that's for sure. But let's get back to the future.
Okay.
What kind of upgrades are we talking about? What could a B-52 of 2040 look like?
Now, this is where things get really interesting. We could see advancements in engine technology, potentially even greater fuel efficiency, and an even longer range. Imagine that. There's also the possibility of further integration of artificial intelligence. Maybe even autonomous capabilities for certain missions.
Hold on a sec. Autonomous bombers. Are we talking about a sci-fi movie here?
It might sound like science fiction, but the technology for autonomous flight is already making huge leaps. Of course, there are a ton of ethical and strategic considerations surrounding the use of autonomous weapon systems. The discussions are critical to have, but it's definitely an area that's being explored, and it could be a game changer.
Okay, now we're getting into some serious what-if territory. But even with all these potential upgrades, there's no guarantee the B-52 will still be flying in 2040, right? I mean, things change. Priorities shift. New threats emerge.
Right.
It's a pretty unpredictable world out there.
You're absolutely right. There are no guarantees, especially in the world of defense technology. But considering the B-52's track record, its adaptability, and the continued investment in upgrades, I'd say it has a pretty good chance of remaining a key player in the U.S. Air Force for many years to come.
All right, you've got me convinced. I'm putting my money on the B-52. It's like a fine wine. It just keeps getting better with age.
I wouldn't argue with that. The B-52 is a testament to sound engineering, a continuous improvement, and the enduring power of strategic air power.
You know, when we started this deep dive, I thought we'd be talking about a relic of the Cold War. But what we've uncovered is a story of innovation, resilience, and a truly remarkable aircraft that continues to defy expectations.
For sure.
It's a testament to human ingenuity and the power of adaptation.
It is a fascinating story, and one that highlights the importance of adapting to change. The B-52 has embraced that principle, evolving from a nuclear bomber into a multi-role platform that can meet the challenges of modern warfare. And that journey is far from over.
It sounds like the B-52 is just getting warmed up. It's amazing to think that this aircraft, with its roots in the Cold War, could still be a force to be reckoned with in the decades to come.
Absolutely. There's a lot more to come from this iconic aircraft. It's a story we'll continue to follow with great interest.
Well, there you have it, the B-52. From Cold War behemoth to enduring symbol of American air power. And it seems this legend has a lot more chapters left to write.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you. It's a good reminder that even in the face of rapid technological advancement, some things just stand the test of time.
And sometimes, the old dog really can learn new tricks. We've seen how the B-52 has constantly evolved to meet the needs of the U.S. Air Force, and it's exciting to think about what the future holds for this incredible aircraft.
It truly is remarkable how a design from the 1950s can still be relevant and effective in today's world.
I know, right?
It speaks volumes about the original engineering and the dedication to modernization that's kept the B-52 soaring for all these years.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
But if there's one thing you want our listener to take away from this deep dive into the B-52, what would it be?
I think the biggest takeaway is this remarkable blend of history and future that the B-52 embodies. It challenges the idea that innovation always requires a clean slate.
Yeah.
Sometimes. The most effective path forward is to adapt and evolve what we already have. And the B-52 is a shining example of that.
You know, it's funny, when you send over these sources, I never imagined we'd uncover such a fascinating story. It's not just about nuts and bolts. It's about human ingenuity, strategic thinking, and a machine that has truly left its mark on history. Who knows? Maybe someday you'll be looking up at the sky and see a B-52 flying overhead, still going strong in 2040.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. The B-52 is a true icon of aviation, and its story is far from over. It's a testament to the enduring power of adaptability and the constant pursuit of improvement.
Well, there you have it. We've explored the B-52's past, present, and even caught a glimpse of its potential future. It's a story that captures the imagination and reminds us that sometimes the most enduring legacies are built on a foundation of continuous evolution.
It's been a pleasure joining you on this deep dive. It's always exciting to explore these topics and uncover the hidden stories behind the machines and the people who shape our world.
And for you listening, we hope this deep dive has given you a newfound appreciation for the B-52. It's more than just a bomber. It's a symbol of innovation, resilience, and the power of human ingenuity. So, the next time you hear that familiar rumble in the sky, take a moment to think about the incredible journey of the B-52 Stratofortress, a legend that continues to defy expectations. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.